Hey guys, it's been a while and I apologize I haven't made a video in a long time. I'm just gonna kind of do this off the top of my head, but I wanted to make a video on kind of what's going on recently and a little bit of my upcoming goals and races going forward. So as you know, a month and a half ago, I ran in the Osaka Marathon, ran 2:07, ran really well, and this was not kind of the path that I expected, but to say now that I'm a pro runner is just even crazy to me. But here we are, and yeah, a lot of big goals ahead. So after the Osaka Marathon, I obviously got to meet with like Sidious Mag and a few other of like the big social media pages and do some interviews. After that, I'll be honest, I got really burnt out, which is ironic because after some of my other marathons, when I was working full time, like after Nara, for example, like my life was way harder, but for some reason this time around, like I was just pretty burnt out and didn't want to do anything. So I kind of just took the time to decompress, and that's kind of why I haven't really worked on any videos for YouTube specifically. Unfortunately, with the Osaka Marathon, I didn't actually have anyone come down to help film. I'm not a pro runner. I wasn't a pro runner at the time, so it's not like I can just pay someone to come and help me. And also, I should mention, like, I don't like filming things if it affects my like training and races. So like a lot of times people ask me like, why don't I vlog and stuff? It's mostly because I don't want it to affect anything. Obviously, if there's not going to be any impact, I don't have to worry about it. But for the Osaka Marathon, it was like a pretty big deal to me, so I didn't want to have any stress about filming things that would take away from the race. So now going forward, it should be a little bit easier to get, B-roll and stuff. Yeah, I didn't really plan on that, unfortunately, so I don't really have a Osaka recap video planned, but I can obviously answer any questions in the comments of this specific video about the Osaka Marathon, and I will try to answer as many as I can. But yeah, unfortunately, no video for that. But I do have some video plans for upcoming races. So as for upcoming races, I should mention I have done a track race recently. I ran 13:57 at the Setagaya time trial meet. Now this race specifically, my plan was to run under 14:10. It was indeed a time trial because I needed to qualify for the Nobuoka 5K, which I'll be doing in May, early May. And since I hadn't run track at all, I didn't have a 5K time, and this had to be on the track as well. So I raced and I didn't really taper anything. I just trained through this race and was able to make the standard. So going into Nobuoka, I'll have a little bit of a better taper. Hopefully a little bit of extra training and speed work should allow me to have a better race. So, but yeah, I'll have that, and also have the Nitai Games, which is a 10K race in Yokohama a little bit earlier. And both these races are mainly just a tool to kind of work on some speed work. And also, I enjoy racing, I hadn't been on the track in just so long, so it brought back old memories from high school, to be honest. So it's just really fun to be out there. My next big race is the McGrath Launceston Half Marathon, which is in Australia. So I'll be going to Australia for my first, I guess, pro debut. I would like to go under 61 if possible, and hopefully win. Hopefully I can be competitive and win the race. So I'll be looking forward to competing in that race at the end of May. But yeah, those are some of my short-term goals. I also will be pacing the Gold Coast Marathon. I'll be pacing the elite field. So for any runners participating in the Gold Coast Marathon, definitely looking forward to meeting you guys, and also just enjoying Australia. This will be the first time I've ever been, so of course I'll enjoy meeting people, but also get to kind of enjoy the country a little bit as well. So I'm not sure exactly if I'll be pacing the 207 group or the 209 group, but I will be pacing the elite field for the Gold Coast Marathon. Even though I have all these plans set up, I don't have my next big marathon determined yet. So kind of, I'm still working with my agent to figure out like what are the best races that kind of coincide with my goals, and but as soon as that, once I decide which race I'm gonna do, I'll for sure announce that on either a YouTube video or my Instagram. So as for kind of some other future plans, I did recently quit my school, so I am no longer a student and will no longer be on a student visa. Because of this means I have to change the status of my visa, which I know for a lot of you guys doesn't really mean much. I thought once I went pro it'd be pretty easy to get a visa, but that's kind of not how things work, particularly if you're a marathoner as well, because you're not with like a specific team contracting you out. Obviously you have like a company, whether it be a shoe company or maybe some other company that can sponsor your visa, but typically for marathoners, you have a certain schedule, and that schedule you have to send to immigration so they can verify whether or not you should be in Japan. It's kind of a whole long, complicated process, but for the time being, I do intend on staying in Japan because I feel like being in Japan, it's a very unique position to kind of race in Japan, but also anywhere else that I feel like I want to race. So doing this will just allow me to meet so many different people and experience different races that I wouldn't get to experience had I just, always stayed in America and trained in America. So for me, it just provides an additional level of excitement. So the only thing that I'll have to consider if I stay here for a long period of time is kind of the Japanese heat. So last year I did go back to Utah during my summer break to train with some of my old teammates, and part of that was just because summer in Japan is absolutely miserable, and obviously Utah's dry heat, so no matter how hot it is, it was a lot more bearable. But yeah, Japan in the summer, specifically Tokyo, the humidity is absolutely unbearable. Because of that, I'll have to go somewhere, whether that be in the mountains in Japan, maybe I'll do an altitude camp or go to Hokkaido, or somewhere else, I don't know. So a lot of unknowns, but yeah, that's kind of the plans as of now. So I do have a lot of goals for the future, not just marathon, but other goals as well. So I look forward to being able to chase after those and, do this for a career for, I don't know, hopefully as long as I possibly can. So I do love the sport of running, and I do hope to continue to improve. So, but yeah, that's kind of all for today. I kind of rambled on a little bit, but hopefully this kind of answers some of the questions that maybe some of you have had. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, feel free to comment below if you have any specific questions. I'll try to, for this specific video, I'll try to answer as many as I can. Yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
On apprenne à s'aimer autrement. Elle fout la mort. Je suis fou de savoir qui a raison ou à tort. Quand je suis fou d'elle, elle me